call to order the October 2nd, 2019 Morton Borough Council agenda meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mario Semino.
Here.
Michelle Miller. Here. Michelle Roberts.
Present.
Melody Young. Robert McGrath.
Here.
John Miller.
Here.
Charles Lillycraft.
Here.
Mayor App.
Present.
Also present Solicitor Ewald and Chief Espina.
Mrs. Young had a work emergency come up and she won't be able to join us tonight.
Or she may be late.
Or she may be.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Public comment on agenda items. If anybody would like to comment on any item that is on the agenda, you can come up to the podium now. If you would like to comment on any other items, we'll take that up during the open discussion period later in the meeting. Seeing no one at this time, we'll move on to our agenda topics, and we'll start with public buildings and infrastructure with Mrs. Miller, please.
Alrighty. I did want to say one comment that has nothing to do with my agenda, that Sable School won the National Blue Ribbon Award, which they won in the past, but only 8 schools in county got it this year. And it's a big deal for them. It's a big application process and all, but just how well the school does with achieving their goals. So kudos out to Dr. Briggs and the staff at Sable for that. The first thing on my agenda is about the Bridge Street parking situation. And after discussing it, my committee and I, and then discussing it with the chief, I'd like to have him explain what the agreement that we've come to and what we'd like to present to council is the answer to part of the parking problem there.
So we have the current ordinance on the books that we use on Walnut Street, no parking from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Alleviates anybody parking for the train, because that's when the train people are actually using the streets. We issue a ticket, so we would like to amend that ordinance to include Bridge Street. I believe that would be the best option for us right now at this time.
Would they actually have permits they put the residents they put on their windshields?
That's correct. I believe we charge $10 and they're renewed yearly. They work for Walnut Street. I'm sure we heard all the complaints last few years about Walnut Street parking, and we haven't heard one since, so it actually works. So that's what my recommendation would be.
And it makes sense to us too. Mr. Ewald, do we need to have a vote on that next week or anything, or?
No, I'll draft up a ordinance, and then you can vote and tell me to advertise it. Let me get it drafted first.
Okay.
We can do that. It should be not a problem to get done for next week. What, did you say what section you're talking about?
I can email you that.
Okay.
It's on the books already, and I believe all we need to do is just add the streets.
Yeah, it should be pretty.
From time to time, we review it and we add streets.
Yeah, if you make sure to alert Mrs. Young that we're going to do that and distribute it to our council so they can see it beforehand.
Yeah, but I'll let Natalie know, or whatever. If anyone has any questions about that, the second part of our, that I have, we've been approached by Rutledge to join their road program for next year. Of course, they're an even smaller borough than us with only about 900 people. But what it would mean is that we put our bid out to do our roads, we would do it jointly. We could probably get, maybe we might save a little money. It could be beneficial for both of us. We are so close to one another, and I don't know what we need to do to agree to do that.
All they've asked is that we consider it and that I get back to them that you are interested, and then we'll go from there. Because again, we do share, I'm trying to think, there's a couple things, but we do share an engineer, so the idea would be the right, and you would still be the one that would prepare the paperwork and everything, but we would still do our own program, come up with our own roads, do whatever we want to do, but that would be combined with their program. And hopefully we can get some kind of economy of scale. If not, at least it's a good thing to do, to be joining forces from really, you know, whatever projects we can with whoever we can, so. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I would do, is if council would wish to do that, at least to approach them and say, yes, that we would like to, you know, at least look at the possibility of doing that, I would get back to them with that and we would go from there.
How would that cost per round?
It would still be I mean, everything would still be separate. They would be billed by Catania for their portion, we would be billed for our portion, and then depending on what the project is overall, you know, that's what, like, the bidding and all that kind of thing would be based on, so.
So again, it's something that we would vote on next week?
Couldn't we give a vote on just showing that we intend to, you know, at least enter into the dialogue?
Yeah, because, I mean, that's all it is at this point, would be just to get back to them to see if, you know, if we can do it, right? If we can get together and get it done, so. And then at that point, we would have to come back, I think, because there would have to be some type of, at least, understanding that would take place to show, you know, who's going to be responsible for what, that type of thing, so.
So should we go ahead and make a motion then to address this? Is that what?
Yeah, I think you could make a motion to enter into a negotiation with Rutledge Borough to do a joint road program in 2020.
Say second.
Second.
You're making that motion?
Second.
You just sort of made it, Mario.
You're making a motion
I'm making your
saying
motion.
what I just
Yes.
said. Okay.
I
And
second
Mr.
the motion.
Lillicrap is seconding that motion. Are there any questions on the motion that's been made? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any noes? That motion carries. Thank you.
So, Mr. Poole, you will?
I will reach back out, yep.
Okay. And then third, real quickly, we were given 3 trees by through the Stormwater Collaborative, 2 redbuds and 2 dogwoods that we're going to put at least 2 of them here on the property because of the redbuds here on the property at the building, and to try to figure out where to put the dogwoods because they need more shade. So whether we put them over at Jacobs or something, we'll figure that out. But it's a nice thing to get some free trees. So we'll get that taken care of in the next couple of weeks. And after that, I have nothing else, unless anyone has any questions for me.
Let's just be sure that whatever location we choose isn't going to be conflicted with anything to the extent that we can predict in the future, so we don't end up losing them years
We'll
later.
check, you know, make sure that there's no underground wires and just like that. My problem about putting anything over at Jacobs is we don't have water over there.
Mhm.
And it would have to be watered, so, what's me running over there with buckets of water, or we figure something out. Get any trees, anything to be planted over at Jacobs, we have to do that. I've already gone over there and watered some of the brown-eyed Susans we transferred over there.
So that's to be decided where you're going to put the trees at.
Yes. And that's all that I have.
Okay, thank you. Finance Administration, Mr. Lillicrap, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to recognize Josh Fiorentino, Junior Council Person. Would you like to have a couple words to say, young man? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. We'd like to hear from you if you would.
Just let us know why you're interested in filling the position.
Joshua Fiorentino, 3 Providence Road. I'm interested in this opportunity because I'm pretty interested in government. My dad's a lawyer, as you all know, Michael Fiorentino, and I'm actually taking AP Government, U.S. History, or U.S. Government and Politics this year, and I wanted to take the opportunity to participate in something such as this, that in a town or borough council, and
It'll work into your studies and you
Yeah.
see how the book reads it based on what really happens, right?
yeah.
That's great. Well, you do a good job.
And you're also going to be working on your Eagle
Yeah,
badge.
correct.
Will this be something you can put into the Boy Scouts?
If you
Yeah. I mean, it could help, like, to get grants or whatever if I'm doing the thing at the park over there.
Mhm.
Great.
Perfect.
Mr. President, I'll defer to you. It looks like you'll be administering this oath.
Well, we'll need a motion to appoint Josh
I so
Fiorentino.
move a motion to appoint Mr. Joshua Fiorentino to Morton Borough Junior Council person.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any noes?
No.
All right, unanimously adopted, and congratulations, and I will call upon the mayor to swear in our new junior council person.
Mario, would you like to swear him in since he's going to be on your council?
I think this.
The mayor administers oaths.
Yes.
Okay, so. Hi, Josh.
Oh.
Do we need to have Josh read the Bible or anything like that?
It's just a pledge.
Not required to.
No, it's a pledge.
Okay.
So it's just, yeah.
To make it proper, you want to raise your right hand, Josh? There you go. I, and you're going to repeat after me.
I,
Joshua, and your last name,
Joshua Fiorentino,
do solemnly pledge that I accept the position
do solemnly pledge that I accept the position
of Morton Borough Junior Council person.
of Morton Borough Council Junior Person.
I promise to attend monthly council meetings,
Promise to attend monthly council meetings,
observe Borough Council meeting rules,
observe Morton Borough Council meeting rules,
and actively participate in borough business.
and actively participate in borough business.
And I understand
And I understand
that I will serve my term during the school year,
that I will serve my term during the school year,
that I cannot vote on any issue,
that I cannot vote on any issue,
and I cannot attend executive sessions.
and I cannot attend executive sessions.
Thank you, Josh. Got a family thing going with the injury.
More sure.
Yeah, excellent.
Congratulations, Josh. You can take your new position next to Mrs. President. And so we would like to get you involved in helping with some of our committees. So if you have any particular ideas, reach out to me in the next week. And if any council persons have any specific ideas where Josh may be able to help them with their committee work, reach out to me as well, and we'll discuss that further next week. Okay? All right. Mr. Lillycrop, the floor is still yours.
2023 Delaware County Public School Healthcare Trust Purchase Agreement. You folks are aware of this. I tallied it up, that would be a little shy of $250,000 if we won't have any sort of an increase in rate on it. That's, I understand that, Mr. Now, extended for 3 years, that doesn't necessarily mean the rates will be locked in for 3 years.
No, correct. I mean, and just to kind of some background, we did this 3 years ago. The idea is that this will be the third year going into next year,
Okay.
that there is no rate increase. But what
Okay.
they're asking is, as part of that no rate increase for next year, they're asking that as quickly as possible, we sign this agreement so that they can get all the parties that are involved with this trust on board, and then the insurance company can be assured that all of those parties are all on board for another 3 years, and then that's when everybody gets that, zero increase. And that's for everything. That's medical, prescription, vision, dental. So,
Okay. Therefore, I motion that the Morton Borough Council vote to approve the purchase agreement extension for municipalities would be effective as of January 1, 2020.
Were we going to do this week, or? should
yes,
we-
they asked that
Yeah,
you do it as quickly as possible, just to get everybody on board so that everybody's set, right?
Okay, thank you. So Mr. Lillycrop's made a motion, Mr. Miller has seconded it. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none. Do we need a roll call for this?
Yeah, go.
Roll call, please, Mrs. President.
Okay, Mr. Semino?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Lillycrop?
Yes. That's all I have, Mr. President.
All right, that motion carries. Thank you. Public safety, Mr. Miller, please.
Good evening.
I just have a few things that I'd like to go over. I just want to announce that the public safety meeting that will be held on October the 7th. Fire department at 6:30 and police at 7 o'clock. Public is welcome to come and sit in on that. They tend to, they want to. I'd also like to congratulate Chief Laspina. I got an email a week ago that Nether Providence donated speed trap signs.
Speed trailer.
A speed trailer. And we've all seen them on the road to flash the speed that you're going and make people aware. And it was donated. So would you like to elaborate on how that transpired?
So, the relationship I have with Chief Splain, Nether Providence, they received a new speed trailer, state-of-the-art trailer, and they were getting rid of their older trailer. Has some miles on it. It's very usable. We have nothing, and he approached his commissioners and got the approval for them to donate it to us. Needs a little work, but just cosmetic work. Otherwise, it's very useful. Just was able to get a hitch today, and I should have it on the street sometime this week. Charge it up with the batteries. It'll last about 4 days, depending on how much traffic goes by. Flashes the speed of whoever's traveling down the street. And it's supposed to persuade them to slow down, and it usually works. We're going to put it deployed throughout the borough pretty much on a daily basis. The only time we'll have it in here is to charge it up, and then we'll put it back out.
And it will have Morton's
eventually
seal
we'll get
on
that.
it and so forth.
Correct. Eventually we'll get that. We need to put a little cosmetic work to it, but definitely we'll put our branding on it.
Well, I think that was great. Good looking out. Also, on October the 24th, the police department, is this in conjunction with the fire department? Is this, or is this a
It's just the police department this time.
Police department is having a trunk or treat in the parking lot outside Borough Hall here. It's from 5:30 to 7, and we're looking for vehicles to participate. You can contact the police department, office of police department, and they have all the guidelines and things of that nature to do that. I think it's a great thing. You know, the kids, I've seen a few of them, and they really have a great time going from trunk to trunk, and they're all decorated up. So that's going to be on the 24th of October, 5:30 to 7, at Morton Borough Police Department lot. So hopefully we can get that onto a website to announce that.
Yep.
On TV. We can do that. Thank you. I think that was it. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Chief, for arranging that donation, and we definitely thank Chief Splain and other Providence Township. Mrs. Preston, can you draft 2 letters for me, one to Chief Splain and one to the other Providence Commissioners, just thanking them for the donation?
Yep.
Sign those. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go on to Community and Economic Development with Mr. McGrath, please.
All I have to say tonight is that we're working on budgets for next year for that, for community and economic development and community center. More to come.
Never mind.
That's it for me, unless anybody has questions.
All right, thank you. Public Health and Sanitation and Recycling, Mrs. Roberts.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Tonight we are to elaborate on the recycling and trash contract extension. And as previously mentioned, this was reviewed by the solicitor and also by the borough manager and also by the recycling committee, that we are to more or less allow 30 days prior to the contract expiration date. And we want to continually to utilize the haulers that we have in place contractually with the trash and recycling, and that being Republic and VL Disposals. And I believe this would be fiscally our responsibility to continue with them than to go outside and re-bid and go through the process of the due diligence. So at this time, I would like to present the council to make you all aware and have your input, and if so, I'd like to make a motion next week, possibly, to proceed with continuing to extend the contract for another year with the haulers that we have in place, being Republic and VL Disposal.
Okay.
This is a decision that has to be made next week. The deadline is this month. And particularly, it's the recycling that is most urgent because of the changing market for recycling. We don't expect that we get anywhere near the as good a contract right now if we were to rebid it.
Question, I didn't put it in. The extension is at the same quoted price?
Yes, for one more year.
Well, but it was a bid price, so just to let you know, for both of those, it would be a 3% increase, which is basically what they both were over the last 2 years. It's just 3% increases each year.
Okay, any other questions or discussion of that matter? Hearing none, Mrs. Roberts, we're still yours.
Okay, also, I'd just like to confirm that the recycling committee did meet last month, and we had discussed working on our education piece as far as our brochure. We hope to have that out as we prepare for the election day, November the 5th. We hope to have the brochure. We'll have it prior to that so it can be reviewed. And also, we would like to continually push the containers out as well on election day. And also, we would have to visit possibly doing another yard waste. So I just want to make sure those are some of the things that we will be entertaining as we go forward.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question for Michelle.
We're going to vote on that?
No, we haven't voted yet.
Oh, next week?
Yes,
Oh.
we'll be.
Michelle, question. I've gotten a few people in the borough asked me if they wanted to get another can, would they pay for an extra can, or have we made a policy on that?
We had discussion about it, and I believe we possibly may have extras, and we would ask that they would pay a nominal fee.
But we don't know what that nominal fee would be yet.
No.
And we're going to wait and make sure everyone gets one before we
Yes.
do this. Thank you.
Oh, well, that came under your.
Yes, it's a health issue. I've been advised by Mrs. Miller. She sent me an email today that there is a flu shot, well, with the flu season coming up, but there will be a drive-through station at the
Free
Broomhall
shots.
Fire Hall.
Yes.
And it's a free shot, and it's on October the 9th. And I believe the time is from 10 a.m. until I think 2 p.m. Okay. So this will take place on October 9th at the Broomhall Fire Station. It's a free flu shot. And they're just pushing this, once again, they call it a drive-through flu shot.
Right now, it's the only place that's set up because they only have so many doses. So the county may have some more later on, but right now it's the only one that's set up. They're going to drive-through, so I guess you just drive through and do this.
And you can see the brand new Broomhall Fire Station. They just built.
So once again, that's next Wednesday. So that'll be before our meeting. So if there's anybody out there that's interested in getting the flu shot, and it's free, October the 9th at the Broomhall Fire Station from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
All right, thank you. Let the record show that Mrs. Young has joined the meeting, and she's actually up for law and ordinance.
Good evening. I actually luckily have nothing on the agenda this evening, so that's all I have.
So we did discuss, there will be a ordinance put forward by
Coming out
Mr.
somewhere.
Ewald
Okay.
for permanent parking on Bridge Street. And he will circulate that prior to next month's meeting.
All right, great. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Parks and Recreation, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mario. Just a couple of things tonight. Waiting to hear back from the engineer on a report on the parking situation at Jacobs Park. See what we can do about improving the parking at the park as we move forward with different things in the future. And I wanted to make sure, I want to thank Michelle for her work with the Watershed Initiative people for donating those trees to us and express that to them. And we want to thank them very much for that. As shade in the new tot lot will be something we really need. There's no shade there now, so it gets pretty hot there during the day, so that should help a lot once we find out from the engineer where we can plant those trees, so it won't interfere with the project itself. That is all I have.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any planning or zoning applications now? Any old business from members of council? Any new business from members of council?
Yeah.
Mrs. Miller.
Mr. Mayor, did you want to say something about Chick-fil-A?
Sure. I was just handed this tonight from Michelle. So I will announce it that the Springfield, I guess it's a school district, Michelle?
Yes, the school district.
Okay, is having in conjunction with Chick-fil-A, Spirit Night to support the Springfield Turkey Fund. Every Thursday in October, they will donate 15% of the money they make when you either, they have 4 ways or 3 ways that you can do this. Install a Chick-fil-A app from the App Store, and number 2, place a mobile order and pick it up at the restaurant. And number 3, we'll donate 15% of every mobile order. Pick up between 5 and 8 p.m. That's 50% more than our regular Spirit Night percentage, they say. If you don't have an app, you can still support the Springfield Turkey Fund. Say you're supporting the Spirit Night when you order, and we'll donate 10%. Now, I should mention, I do believe that this is how we run our turkey here, that we get stable, so this would help us also.
Well, yeah, it's a school district for the food.
Right, and we specifically get ours from Sable School.
So we accept the baskets in November, week before Thanksgiving, from Sable School and Assembly. Our officers and myself go out and we deliver approximately 30 baskets to the residents of Morton.
Fantastic.
Specifically, and then Springfield handles their own side.
Well, thank you, Michelle, for bringing this to our attention and get it out there to the public. And I have seen these hanging up at the Wawa and here at Borough Hall and things like that. So get out there and support Chick-fil-A if you can to help get us more turkeys.
And that's the first 3 Thursdays. They're not doing it on a Halloween night.
Okay.
So we'll start tomorrow night and then the next 2.
It says here the first 4 Thursdays. So
Well, how many Thursdays are on it?
October
Not
3rd,
the- not
10th,
the
31st,
31st.
and the 24th. I guess there are 5 Thursdays.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, just. The last one's Halloween.
Yeah. All those long months.
Yes,
All right, any other new business? All right, hearing none, open discussion. Mr. Lee, please.
Michael Lee, 123 West Sylvan Avenue, Morton, Pennsylvania. Good evening, everyone.
Good.
I attended the Springfield School District Board of School Directors meeting, which was held this past Thursday, September 26, 2019. I have a copy of the agenda for all of you. With permission to approach the dais, I can have them passed down.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Lillicrap, if you would be kind enough to do the honors. As Mrs. Miller said at the beginning, Sable Elementary did win the National Blue Ribbon Award for Excellence in Education, which was put out by the United States Department of Education The other things that happened at the meeting, the highlights, is that E.T. Richardson Middle School won the Central League Sportsmanship Award. There was, during the summer, there was something called Camp Invention, where the youngsters who attended learned how to do things such as build and design things. It was sponsored, I believe, from the National Association of Inventors. So this was a legitimate camp, and apparently worthwhile for everyone to attend. And there was also a summer camp, the ELC summer camp, which I was told was for those who are learning English to be their first language. So again, that was a worthwhile use, I believe, of a taxpayer's money. And other than that, that's about it. I don't have anything else. So unless anybody has any questions, I'll resume my seat. So thank you all for listening. Good night. May God bless all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to address council for open discussion? All right, seeing no one else, unless there are any announcements or other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
So made.
You're watching MoTV, Morton's very own TV station.